So you've just defeated another player in an epic battle that seemed like it lasted 10 minutes long. You looted their dead corpse, got the amazing spoils of war, shiny new trinkets, all the gold you can carry. But now, what do? Well, if you just started playing Dark and Darker, you probably wander around until you die to a spike trap or a mimic. And the bummer is, when you die, you lose it all. Well, fear not, adventurer, because I am going to teach you how to solve that problem. My name is Ethan for the Gamer, and today we're going to talk about how to extract in Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker at its core is a loot-based FPS PvPvE game that is based around doing a dungeon run, killing enemies, both NPCs and other players alike, and then extracting with your loot before you die. In the game, when you die, you drop and lose anything that you have on your character. And when you first start out, you'll be dying a lot. Trust me, the game is pretty difficult and death is inevitable. As you venture on, you'll find that there are multiple floors in Dark and Darker, and the difficulty of enemies increases as you descend. The lower you go in the dungeon, the harder it gets to extract. So let's talk about what extracting means. Extracting is essentially exiting the level before you die. When you do this, you escape with all of the loot that you've picked up during the run. All of those shiny trinkets and gold and armor and all that good stuff, that's how you keep it. In order to extract in Dark and Darker, you need to find the blue headstones that appear across the map. These spawn randomly, and as the game goes on, more and more of them will appear. At the start, none of them exist, and as the game goes on, you'll find more on your travels. Also to note, if an extraction point spawns near you, you'll hear an auditory cue that sounds kind of like crumbling rocks. Now, all you have to do when you find one of these is interact with it, then a blue portal will open up, which you can walk into and exit from the level. Now, once you interact with one of the headstones and the portal appears, this will stick around forever until someone extracts from it. That's important to note because it could be either you when you walk through it, or if you let it go, someone else can run through the portal before you. And then they laugh while you snap your keyboard in half. There are two different colored headstones that appear. The blue ones are the ones that you can extract from, and the red ones are how you venture deeper into the dungeon. The red headstones work the same as the blue ones. When you interact with it, a portal appears. If you go in it, you'll venture into the dungeon deeper. The game becomes drastically more difficult the further you descend, but there's better loot, so you have to weigh that decision if it's worth it to enter a red portal. As I said before, Dark and Darker is a notoriously difficult game, especially if you're playing solo. You'll find it easier to extract more often if you end up playing with some people, and that's just the nature of the game. Another important thing to note, and something I figured out early on, which caused a great deal of frustration between me and my friends, is that only one person can enter a portal at a time. So if you're in a party with your friends, and you walk through a blue portal, it will not take the rest of your party with you. You'll simply escape, head back to the tavern, and keep all your loot while your friends are stuck alone. It is common though for portals to spawn near each other, especially as the game gets further on, so if you are in a group with 2 or 3 people, it may be worth wandering around until you find more portals next to each other so that you can all extract together. But sometimes the way it works is you just have to give all your loot to one of your friends while they extract and leave you to your death. Once you have extracted though and you're back at the tavern, it's important to take all of your loot that you have extracted with and put it in your stash. That way you don't accidentally load in with things that you don't want to lose, because when you die again, it's even that much more frustrating. And there you have it. That's all there is to extracting in Dark and Darker. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and visit thegamer.com for all things gaming, and we'll see you in the next video.